last one for Owens to come back and destroy.
What's the dude from Kung Fu, David Carradine? Right.
4. You don't need channel 9. Don't need it. You need channel 8.
You know what his last words were?
Tell
I do not.
Whoops!
Love her. Nah.
Or else it was coming.
RJ asked if you were dead. I told him no, he's a nomad now, a wanderer. Like David Carradine in Kung Fu.
What's he want?
I have no idea.
I'm good to go on my end.
This is just a be ready for your headphones.
Some input. So it's here. You better?
That's a nice shirt I have.
Monkey around with the headphone cord here.
Is it plugged in?
Yeah, one side.
It might be just broken headphones.
Well, no, these are mine.
Oh.
Check one.
Oh.
Check 1, 2. Check. It's
There
in
we
now.
go. There we go.
Check. Yeah, it seems okay.
Works now.
Already losing.
All right. So what's going on?
You guys ready?
Yo. Are we live yet?
Check.
Yeah, we're live.
Oh,
Yeah, we're
shit.
streaming.
Hi, everyone.
Yeah, I guess I should have said something.
Yeah, I didn't know. Hi.
Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Check. Sounds okay.
There you go.
Do we have the live stream up on the feed or no?
I will toss it up on. Oh, you mean up here?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll grab it.
for nobody that's watching. We so killed off our audience, and they've all gone to other shit.
They've gone to that other show, Four Horsemen.
I doubt anybody's doing that.
There's a lot to kill, so
We were
we can
getting
build it back up.
in the neighborhood of 1,000, 800.
Well, there's a YouTube channel called The Four Horsemen.
Oh yeah.
It's basically a podcast.
Well, I don't think they were coming to us. I'm talking downloads on iTunes
True.
or wherever.
There's Chad.
But we don't do anything for the show anymore. We used to tweet and get all fancy.
it just gets hard sometimes, to do that.
Well, if this was a
stuff.
UFC show, we'd be in business.
All right, well, whenever you guys are ready, I'll hit play.
Just about. I mean, you guys can start. I'm just working on a little bit of the YouTube. We can get going in the middle.
Hit it, Brian.
The following podcast is scheduled for one fall, and there will be no disqualifications. Making their way to the ring from lineupmedia.fm at a combined weight of 849 pounds, the Three Horsemen.
Hulk Hogan Part 2!
What's up? Numero dos.
Part
Por
2,
favor.
numero dos, whatever you want to call it. The Three Horsemen back in business to talk wrestling, talk old school, let's talk Hulk Hogan. What a surprise. We do a show, and the guy re-signs or is reinstated into the WWE Hall of Fame. Talk about timing.
Just a coincidence? I think not.
We planned that.
No shit.
Vinnie
Alex.
Mac hit me up through email and was like, we've been thinking about this for a while.
Right.
So I see that you guys are going to do a show, perfect time, coincide, little cross-producing, cross-promotion.
Love it,
And I
pal.
declined it. I turned him down.
Did you?
Yeah, I told him no. It's like, we were not about a corporate sponsors, Vinnie Mac. Get out of here.
Did he call you a
Yeah,
son of
Newport
a
tried
bitch?
that shit one
He
time,
did.
and we told him to get out.
Oh, yeah. I like
They
it.
may be little yellow and different, but not to me.
Alex, Big E, Eric, and Corey here today to jump back into the Hogan stuff. Last week, we made it from the beginning of his career to the end of his WWF run, so this is going to be WCW, NWO. I don't know how far we'll make it.
I like to call it the fun time.
Yeah, well, the fun time may end up being next week when we get into
NWO.
using racial slurs
Oh, no,
and
That's not super fun.
sex tapes and
those
the
are fun.
like.
Lawsuits.
Lawsuits.
Breakfast cereals.
Breakfast cereals. Yeah, he got reinstated, so there's a tag team nowadays called the New Day. It's three black guys, Kofi Kingston, Big E, and Xavier Rhodes, and
Hey, Big E.
they issued a statement. They literally had to issue a statement because it's that controversial that he's coming back. What do you think?
I think it's a good thing. I mean, yeah, obviously it was stupid the shit he said, but still, it's Hulk Hogan. I mean, the modern fucking father of the business, in my opinion, as far as wrestlers go. I mean, he's the one.
We've got guys on both sides of the fence. I mean, it's like, and part of it makes me wonder, like, did they make the New Day say what they did, or was it, was it legit? Because then you've got guys like Mark Henry, who's just kind of like, almost sounds like he's on the fence himself.
What's Mike Henry saying about it?
Yes, but deep down they're saying fuck him. I would think.
Probably.
I would think so. Yeah, I mean,
But Mark Henry's just kind of like, well, he says he's sorry if he can do the work, or I forget exactly what his quote was, but if he can do the work, then
that sounds like some
then
shit that was
we'll
fed
bring
to
him
to
back.
say.
Here we go. Here's what
Right.
the New Day said to the WWE Universe and whoever else it may concern. This will be the only statement we make regarding Hogan's reinstatement into the WWE's Hall of Fame. We do not wish to spend energy debating the point because between our kids, external ventures, and this job, our energy is spread thin enough already. LOL.
Lol.
We are only writing this simply to provide an answer to many who have bombarded us with questions on where we stand on this issue. We preface this statement by emphasizing that it is our own opinion and may not necessarily reflect the opinion of anyone else affected. How do we feel? Indifferent. We are not happy or sad, angry or resentful. Who WWE puts in... Man, you know what? Now I see why McMahon always says WWE. He just says WE. Who WWE puts into the Hall of Fame is totally and completely up to the company, and from a career standpoint, there is no argument on whether or not Hogan should have his place. We have no problem with his reinduction in the slightest degree. It is impossible to even begin to mention the history and evolution of the business without mentioning his name and accolades.
That's my thoughts.
on a personal level, when someone makes racist and hateful comments about any race or group of people, especially to the degree that Hogan made about our people, we find it difficult to simply forget, regardless of how long ago it was or the situation in which those comments were made. But we also do not respond with more feelings of hate. Instead, we just do not associate with people who convey or have conveyed this negative and hurtful mindset. This instance will be no different. Perhaps if we see him make a genuine effort to change, then maybe our opinion will change with him. Time will tell. Through the course of our lives, people have used racist comments towards us, and it doesn't feel good. But if we stop moving forward every time we were met with prejudicial hatred, then we would have never achieved our current accomplishments. We know we are worth it, we know our kids are worth it, and most importantly, we know that people that look like us are worth it and always have been. There isn't a person on this planet who will ever be able to say anything to make us think otherwise, because we believe in ourselves as a people and don't need anyone's approval on that, regardless of who they are. Having said that, his reinstatement won't change anything for us. It will have zero effect on our ability to perform or the level of effort we will put into doing what we love to do, and that is to deliver an entertaining product each week for our fan base. Sincerely, the New Day.
Wow. Pretty good. I mean, it's exactly the logical person and the normal person's way of thinking on this, I would say. On a personal level, kind of fuck him for that shit. But on a professional and wrestling level, I mean...
there were other guys that had worked with him that came out and said, this guy's the least racist guy we know. Now, I mean, to them, he made him money.
Who's that? I mean...
Virgil.
Oh, well, okay.
Oh, no. Did Booker T say this?
No.
Okay.
He said he was coming for him. No. Booker T said he deserved another chance.
Did he really? Well,
Yeah.
that's good.
That's all we've got. What?
I can't
He
get
did
that.
say he was coming for him, did he not?
He
I
did.
mean, 20 years ago, but he still said it.
He did.
That promo is forever stuck.
It's so good. We're coming for you. Oh, I can't even do it because
Yeah, because then you'll be in Josh Hader country. You baseball fans know
remember
what I'm
that.
talking about.
I have no clue.
Do you guys remember? Not to get off for too long. Do you guys remember the McMahon promo like he was doing with Cena, and then he
Thank
runs
you.
into Booker T in the back, and he's like, "What's up?" And then
N-word.
Is that what he said?
With an
Yeah.
A on the end, not
Yeah.
a hard ER. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I soft ate it. That's, I guess, acceptable to some.
Yeah.
To some. No, I'm not,
Some.
I'm just saying some accept that.
Yeah.
You hard R it. That's... Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good. Probably
Hard R
shouldn't be
usually
saying
gets a
that.
punch to the face.
Usually. I don't know. It's getting popular again these days. Confederate flag sales are up. Anyway, they literally are, but okay. Let's get to Hogan shit. Which
Yeah,
that
that's
was
kinda what it
Hogan
was,
stuff.
yeah.
I mean, come on. We finished off in 93. So at that point, Hogan had done a little thing where he came back and beat Yokozuna and all that. You guys know what happened. He did some dates after that. Anyway. So
Anyway.
he essentially retires and goes to do, I know it's at least the Hicks brothers' favorite television show, nostalgia-wise, Thunder in Paradise.
Play with me is like playing with your life or something like that.
Yeah, it's all right.
Remember that theme? Thunder
No.
in paradise. Mess with me is like a playing with your life. Some crap like that. It was horrible.
Really?
Horrible reggae.
was
Oh,
was,
man.
was literally like someone Jamaican singing it.
I don't know. I don't recall. In my mind, it is. We should probably find that. Hold on.
Well, we are going to find it. A Thunder in Paradise theme. Now, this was Hogan's attempt at, and it was only, I don't know if that was exclusive to TNT or if that was a show that was syndicated. I would have thought.
I remember seeing it on Channel 11 eventually.
Well, let's find out.
Like it was played like right after Baywatch for a while, I think. Oh, this is horrible.
This is the theme for the show?
This does not seem familiar.
Yeah, we got him.
I think Thunder in Paradise might have been on Showtime late at night. And
This is not what I remember. Are you sure this is the right one?
Funny thing is, it actually sounds pretty similar to how you You sung it.
Right. I was thinking the same thing.
I was thinking how bad it sounds. Yeah, but that was his show, and it seemed like Hogan was going to go Hollywood. I don't know if something good could have come out of that, but Bischoff takes over WCW. No, is that not it?
No, that's the one. I'm just full of shit, I guess.
Yeah.
Bischoff takes over WCW, and Flair says we can get Hogan, and that's what happens. They go and get Hogan. Now, do you guys remember Hogan's initial coming into WCW or no? It's funny, they just talked about this
I
on
remember
the Bischoff show.
It was at Disney where they did the big like parade. They had the Viper, the red and yellow Viper, if I remember correctly.
I definitely remember it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
It was a
at the
big
beach?
deal.
Yeah. No, Bash at the Beach
Yeah,
where
that
he
was-
turned.
No, well, he came into the company with Bash
Was
the
it?
Beach. Yeah, 94.
Yeah, his very first match he beats Flair for the belt.
For that lovely belt you got sitting right there, in case you're watching on YouTube, big gold in the house. You got us some background here?
Except it's got Flair's name on it. You can just disregard that part. But this is the only belt that I have that was kind of relevant to our discussion today. So
I like that belt.
here she be.
Oh, there's nothing more beautiful. If you can find the original footage, which is it's either on the network or it's on YouTube. Find this belt when they debuted this thing. I mean, my God, that's
Pretty, man.
Oh, it's the best looking belt probably in the history of wrestling.
I remember
10 pounds of gold. Or no, sorry, that's not 10 pounds.
Yeah, so Corey and I were just having a discussion about this yesterday, I think. All the belts at that point looked identical regardless of what company it was. WCW, WWF at the time, WCCW, they all had the same shape. So then Flair brings this mammoth thing out, and it's like, wow, they decided to actually differentiate their world title from everything else that looked the same.
No, the best thing that they did was they said it was so good looking. Let's put black hairspray on the front of it.
That was so bad.
And they spray painted it in
Well,
NWO?
yeah.
What kills me is that they actually sell these, replica versions that actually have NWO on them, and they're the most hideous thing you could ever buy. But even now, you could probably research it. I'll be honest, I have not looked, but WWE.com probably sells them, and they probably still sell.
Yeah, you could probably just do that yourself.
Probably so.
If you just get some black hairspray.
I think you go down to Dollar General. They got it for $2 a can.
There you go. See, you just save yourself some money right there.
Can we do that this afternoon with yours?
No, absolutely not.
Absolutely
It
not.
comes right off.
Yeah, like a little turpentine, a
Whatever.
little gasoline.
Alex.
I remember back in the day, you could actually take a brown paper bag that you get at the grocery store, take one end, cut it down the middle, then cut the bottom off so you could spread it out and then draw your outline of a belt. That's how I used to always make mine, and then spray paint NWO all day long.
Wow, I never did that.
No.
And I don't think I ever made a belt.
We'll make one later.
Anyway.
Oh, God, no more Thunder in Paradise. Jesus.
Oh, that was
Keep it
perfect.
going, Corey. Keep it going.
Anyway, the other thing I remember about Hogan coming in is how skinny he had gotten. You guys remember how much different he
No,
looked?
I was so young, I don't remember a difference in how he
You remember
looked,
beefy
though.
303 Hogan in 87 to 94, basically, or
Yeah.
93, basically, and he comes in. He's svelte. He's probably like 270, a little
He's
less.
trimmed.
Yeah.
He was so. It was that.
His legs look
bloated
smaller.
look.
Honestly, wearing those like lycra pants or whatever he wore, you could actually tell then that his legs look smaller than they normally did. Like, don't skip leg day, bro.
Legs were shot. I don't know. I thought he looked better. You can tell when he did those. What was this? Was it Speed Stick? He did Speed
Yeah, the
Stick.
Right
Deluxe
guard. Wasn't it right guard?
Oh, it was right guard.
Anything less would be uncivilized, wasn't that it?
That's
I think so.
I think it was right guard.
Somebody. But he had darkened his eyebrows, and I think a lot of this goes into doing TV and film work. But that's why you do things like that, and that's why he lost so much weight, because you're going to be on TV, you're going to be in movies. Remember when you didn't want to look like a fucking steroid freak on television or in a movie?
I don't remember that.
Because The
Nah, me
Rock's...
neither.
Well, The Rock lost a bunch of weight when he went to do movies.
The Rock's fucking cut.
Dude, have you seen
Now...
Have you seen The Rock in those Fast and the Furious movies? He looks like a goddamn tank. He's got muscles on top of his muscles on top of his muscles, and those
like
are
He
Right.
Goldberged out for sure.
So
like
he
up
looks
here.
like that now, but whenever he first started, like
Right.
he was the same way, like
Yep.
just super. I don't know if the word is not lean, but I mean, just he had trimmed
fit.
down.
Yeah, just a standard, muscular physique.
So
Yeah, but now if you poked him with a pin, he looks like nuclear waste would shoot out of his ass.
Yeah, something's going. Yeah.
I mean, he's fucking gigantic.
Oh, I mean,
funny.
it's easy for those guys to just go to the doctor though and get steroids prescribed to them. So,
I understand that, but there's a difference between like guys. Who can I name that was just a steroid guy? Like when Steiner blew up. There's a
that was a
difference-
bad one.
Yeah, there's a difference between seeing steroids or whatever. You can tell when somebody's taking certain things. I mean, if you're taking HGH or whatever you're taking, there's a difference between guys that have all the veins popping everywhere to where it looks like, ugh, and a guy who just got bigger
Yeah.
and like put on weight and is a muscle guy, but they still eat some shit that ain't the best for
You
you.
mean like Mark McGuire on the Athletics versus Mark McGuire for the Cardinals?
how dare you talk about that man
my bad.
in a negative way?
It's a true story.
He only took
look at his-
steroids
look at
to,
the motherfucker.
to heal.
His
He
arm
was
was
hurt.
bigger than the bat.
Those steroids just happened to help him get bigger. He
course.
took them because he was hurt,
Yeah,
never to
yeah.
improve his performance.
Never.
And
why
all
I
of
take
our
him.
listeners agree.
Side effect.
I'll speak for our listeners.
I mean, that guy down
both
the
of
street
you.
who smokes meth only does it because he's tired all the time.
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, if he didn't work so much, he wouldn't have to.
Thank you.
someone called Tio. Let's get UFC going while we're on this tangent.
T.O., love you.
What did this devolve into a John Bones conversation? Is where this was going? I get.
No.
No.
Jesus. Yeah. There's a guy who looks like he's on steroids.
He doesn't look like it
At
but,
all.
But God, he is, and he just can't pass a fucking drug test post
Couldn't.
fight. Can't
no.
fucking do it.
Lesnar looks like he's on something.
That's because he is. Yeah, for 100%.
Whoa. Lesnar's never pissed dirty in his last week.
This morning, he hasn't pissed dirty this morning
Yet today.
because they haven't tested.
Well, I
him
think he
today.
only eats red meat, so he probably hasn't had a bowel movement of any kind in the past, what?
Can you imagine? I mean,
month?
steroids or not, can you imagine getting thrown around by fucking Brock Lesnar though? I mean, that's scary.
I imagine
That
it
dude's
on the
fucking
nightly.
huge.
No, I can't. I can't imagine what it would be like to get hit by a boxer. I can't. Ugh.
I think if
None
you
of
locked
that
all
sounds like
four of
fun.
us in this room with Brock Lesnar and told us you guys have to walk out or he's walking it, we're done, dude. We're not walking out of here.
I
all
don't know.
four of us against Brock Lesnar.
I'll take one for the team, and I'll try to just toss my weight onto him, and you guys just work him as much as you can while I'm taking a beating.
How about I just shit myself and sit in the corner?
Rub it on him a little? That might
Maybe.
freak him out enough.
Hit him with the light.
I'm like, you remember that diverculitis? Ah!
You hold him, you hit him with a belt.
Yeah, there you go. Alex comes up, smashes him in the back of the head with the belt. We'll
Get
be
out
in
of the
good-
business!
We'll be in good shape now.
back to Hogan. Anything now? The old whatever you want to call it. I guess consensus is that red and yellow didn't work in WCW. It's not true.
I don't think it's that. Yeah, I think it's true.
Now it wore on people after a while. His run in WCW, I want to say his first reign was like a year and a month or two.
I don't know.
It was way too long. And he had some losses in between there. I think he did some stuff with the Giant. He never lost to Flair early on. But did that flip you guys over? I mean, I know you guys were watching WWF because if you know fucking Doink shit,
Oh, yeah.
then you know there was another channel. Did you know, or did it make you guys watch WCW at all?
I watched both.
Yeah,
When
back and
possible,
forth.
when watch
Yeah.
possible, yeah. I mean, like, we got a remote, man. It wasn't like the
Oh,
60s.
I know.
We could change back and forth.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
Even if we didn't
definitely-
have a remote, I'm getting my ass up and working the dial.
Okay, yeah, that's a fair point. We did not have a remote back then, but we watched them both for sure.
Yeah, I watched both, but I
It's only like
admittedly watched WCW more whenever
During that
Hogan
era.
jumped on.
There's only 3 channels, right? 25 to 28.
Because you got to remember, once Hogan was there, then you got Savage that came in, and
Savage was
Who
there
else?
before Hogan, wasn't he?
Yeah, I guess USA wasn't. Yeah, I think you're right.
25 to 28.
What were you saying now?
Was Savage there before Hogan? I thought he
No,
was.
Savage got in about 6 months later.
Did he?
Yeah.
Something in my mind, I just cannot remember him in WCW, Macho Man. I just can't do it.
that's
I don't
because
fucking
each
know
of
why.
his title reigns lasted 1 day each.
Right
Yeah.
around there.
I cannot
literally.
remember him
Who
in
was used
WCW.
worse
If you-
in WCW, Bret Hart or Macho Man? because they were both horribly misused. I mean,
Macho
Bret Hart
Man
could have been
got
better, but
Macho Man got over.
you think?
Yeah.
Yes.
What about near the end of his run, whenever he was more or less just a joke?
See,
The
I wasn't
NWO
watching
joke.
by then.
Yeah.
Oh, he came back juiced up.
That's the last I remember of him. I guess that's a good point.
He
came
came
back ultra juiced. Yeah,
Looks like he looked in Spider-Man.
exactly. Bonesaw is
He was
roided.
fucking ripped in Spider-Man, wasn't he?
Jesus.
God.
Blown. Really savages, and we're gonna end up.
Got you for 3 minutes.
We're gonna end up doing
like this.
We're gonna end up doing a show on Savage. Really, all his reigns only lasted a day.
I take that back. So
Okay.
Savage's first reign was 31 days. Then
Yeah.
Flair beat him, and then you've got his second one. Where's it at? Randy Savage, January 22nd, 96. So that one was 20 days. Then Flair beat him. Third reign, Savage, April 19th, 98, won at Spring Stampede. 1 day. Hogan beat him the next day.
On Nitro.
Savage, fourth reign, July 11th, 99, Bash at the Beach.
Whoa.
Next day, Hogan, July 12th, 99.
What?
That
Man,
sucks
I had
for
tuned
him.
out.
Yeah, I remember those last two because he literally won it at a pay-per-view, then lost it the last night on Nitro.
So do we have a list of Hogan title reigns in WCW? Because if you guys can
I
think
do.
of anything he did, if you guys can think of something he did in red and yellow that I can't remember anything besides wrestling Flair. I know he wrestled Vader. I know he wrestled the Giant. I know a lot of that stuff, but I can't remember shit he did in red and yellow.
Well, because the NWO thing was so hot that you pretty much just forget what he did the first couple of years he was there.
Yeah.
I mean, and a lot of it was because of this Dungeon of Doom crap and just
There you go.
throwing him in, what was the not Tower of Doom or whatever.
That cage that he
Whatever-
beat up everyone in the company
Yeah.
on the way down.
So it's literally Hogan and Savage versus everyone
Everyone.
in Dungeon of Doom. You've got Anderson and Flair in there too. You've got Luger in there, and it's just one.
Clusterfuck. That's what you call it. You call it the drizzling
Say one
shits.
thing about WCW, but they knew how to throw fucking everybody into an angle. You know what I mean? Just who's free.
Yeah, but that's
Nah,
not
he's
always
free.
good.
It's not always good, but they did it every time. Think about like whenever Ready to Rumble came out
Oh,
and all that shit going around with Arquette. Every single person with a name was basically involved with that.
you do the movie Ready to Rumble and you don't even have Hogan in it.
Why would you have Hogan in that movie? Honestly, he's a star. You throw him in there with those guys, he completely overshadows everything else.
I think he was in the middle of
I mean,
Need.
that's why
with-
you have Oliver Platt in there. You know what I mean? Playing whatever, the King or whatever he was. You got to have a big name, but it can't be a real big name. DDP was a big name, but not
Come on.
near Hogan name.
Come on.
Hogan probably refused to do that movie because he knew it wasn't going to make money.
Come on, this is like right around the time the third Three Ninjas movie came
Yeah,
out.
I was
so
gonna
that could
say
have been-
Hogan had script approval, but he still did
Well-
fucking Suburban Commando.
Love that movie.
It was probably
you, man.
It's probably one of those things
Dead
too.
meat, Ramsey.
Him and Sherman Helmsley kicking it.
Was it Sherman Helmsley? I guess it's kind
No,
of Sherman
that
Helmsley's
was
character.
that
but
was
Chris
Mr.
Lloyd.
Nanny.
Oh yeah, Mr. Nanny was great. Sherman Helmsley was his like manager or whatever. Remember whenever they dumped him
Mr.
in the
Nanny
pool
was
with all the
not
dye?
great.
No, it wasn't.
Give me a break. That dude had the chrome dome. I'm getting a headache. You don't remember that?
No,
Jesus, I don't remember it either.
Wow.
that was from Surf Ninjas.
No,
Yeah,
I don't think so.
yeah.
Hold on.
If anybody knows the answer to these questions, feel free to.
Didn't he get into it with Dennis Rodman? Wasn't there a Rodman match?
Oh yeah,
Hogan?
there's plenty of
Yeah.
shit once we get to the NWO.
Yeah, yeah.
I was just remembering.
I'm just trying to name two things he did while he was in red and yellow.
This guy. Remember he had the metal top of his head?
You know who that
Wasn't that
is.
from Surf Ninjas?
Nope, that's Mr. Nanny.
You know who that is.
Looks like the dude from You Keep It Hoppin'. Oh, it is David Johansen.
Yeah, he was the lead singer of the New York Dolls.
Right, yeah.
Fucking
he was
A.
Buster Poindexter and lead
Yes.
singer of New York Dolls.
He was Poindexter from Revenge of the Nerds.
No, that was Tim something or other. I forget.
Oh my God, the fuck do you guys know those?
He's a great actor. He was in that baseball movie with the kid who pitched really fast. He was the redheaded.
Henry Rowan Gardner.
Yeah, he was the redheaded dude that went out with the dude's mom. That was Poindexter from Revenge of the Nerds.
Wow.
Yes, I knew that.
Okay.
Timothy Busfield,
Angels in the
Tim
Outfield.
Busfield.
No.
Busfield, yeah.
The Rookie. What the fuck was the name of that movie?
Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, that's the one where the kid fell on his shoulder and John Candy, I believe. was
Rosenbagger. Anyway,
It's a good thing we don't have anyone listening on or watching on the YouTube
oh no,
stream
they
right
wouldn't
now.
be fucking. They wouldn't know. What
We
was
just
going
call
on
the show
anyway.
90s nostalgia. It's because that's what the fuck.
That's what this has turned into.
yeah.
If there's anybody who's '90s, it's Hulk Hogan.
Hey, I got some 90s nostalgia for you. Giant and Hogan, Halloween Havoc, into the match. You've got Giant having Hogan in a bear hug, and you've got the Yeti.
The Yeti.
The
See,
Yeti.
you guys don't remember this shit.
No, I
at
don't
all,
remember
do
the
you?
Yeti.
It is extreme wrestle crap. The Yeti. He was just a big guy in bandages. He's so forgettable that I couldn't even name him.
He looks like a mummy, but anyway, so you've got
Oh my god.
Hogan is
That is a mummy. They don't
Giants
fucking
got
shit.
Hogan in a bear hug. Then you got this mummy-looking guy coming up and just looks like he bear hugs him from the other side and just dry humping Hogan.
You've seen Night at the Roxbury, right?
I have.
The sketches, that's what it looked like.
Oh.
When the girl would get between them, they just hump the shit out
Yeah.
of her. That's what
Yeah.
that's what it looks like.
That's very funny though.
Well, it's
fucking
that's what
hilarious.
it looked like, is it not?
I couldn't.
There's
take it.
your 90s nostalgia.
No
Yeah.
shit.
So it kind of starts going south, and you do have to appreciate with Hogan they were able to start Nitro about 14 months after he came in. So Nitro's on the board. They go to war with WWF, and less than a year after they start Nitro, Hogan is starting to get, booed a little more. The world is changing a little. Well, the United States is changing a little bit more. But things change. And they decide to develop this NWO with the signing of Nash and Hall. Now, luckily Tim brought this up when we weren't talking about any of this. Can you guys name somebody else, or how different would this have looked if they would have picked a different third guy?
Then Hogan, they didn't. From what I understand, they didn't even know it was going to be Hogan until soon before. Like they had called Bret Hart, from what I understand, and talked to Bret Hart about hey, WCW's great over here, way better than what you're used to over there at WWF. But it didn't
At least
work
at some
out
point,
like that.
try to bring him in and maybe waste time with that.
Right.
Although I don't know. You can listen to Bischoff's podcast. That guy takes fucking credit for a lot of shit. Jesus Christ. And I guess he deserves
I was
to.
going to say, didn't the dude do the shit though?
Some of it. Creative is a different thing.
I liked
than
his
producing.
character where everybody hated Bischoff. You know what I mean? I like that they made that like the you hate him.
Smart little weasel.
Yeah, you fucking hate Bischoff. It was great.
Thanks to Hogan.
Yep.
Thanks to Hogan.
Yeah, and I think to your question, if you do it with any other wrestler, it does not look the same.
No.
I mean, to kind of, I guess. So Bret Hart, Sting, whoever else you would try to throw in that role, even throw Savage in that role, it
It would have been a big deal. It wouldn't have been as big a deal.
Oh, not nearly. Not nearly, because you've got the takeover angle. Who's bigger than Hogan that would fill that role?
Nobody. There's nobody could have been more.
Yeah,
effective
exactly.
in that.
Can't do it with Sting.
Sting would have been close.
No, because he was never a WWF guy.
Yeah, he wouldn't have been a
True, but think about
takeover.
it would have been a pretty big swerve, seeing the number one babyface in WCW join the Outsiders. You know what I mean? Fuck it, I'm moving over. I mean, that would have been it'd have been big. It probably wouldn't have been as big as Hogan eventually.
He did, yeah.
Well, there was the whole only things for sure is nothing's for sure. 15 months in the ceiling, but
See, here's why I think it fit though, because like Corey said, leading up to that, you had Hogan that people were getting tired of it. You even had people. If you go back and watch episodes of Nitro, where Flair and Arn Anderson both got pinfall victories over Hogan on Nitro. Now, granted, he would get hit in the head with a high heel or whatever.
nothing clean.
But you would see people in the audience just like they were loving it that Hogan was getting beat. So you had guys in creative, rolling around thinking like, what do we got to do to fix this? Because we can't have our Horseman guys that are supposed to be heels.
Yeah, you didn't see Hogan lose clean.
It's not even so much as not being a heel. It's so much as you're a baby face, but you're a joke. You're starting to people are starting to be like, not take you seriously as the baby face, not caring. You're becoming irrelevant.
Yeah, something else. Hogan came in. You know how old he was when he came in the WCW?
45.
40.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's old.
There.
I mean, he was a fucking. Now, you see these guys that are 40 and they're just ripping shit. But back then, that was. I mean, you were considered
An
past your days,
old-timer.
but you're still Hulk Hogan, and there's nothing
Right.
that's going to change that. Now, we've talked about him in Bash the Beach, all that. He does the turn. It's the biggest turn in the history of wrestling because nobody, at least when the wrestling boom hit in '84, Nobody saw Hogan as a bad guy before that, or if they did, it was out of the memory bank.
Yeah, don't.
So to all of us kids, whoa, it was a big fucking deal.
Dude, whenever he came out of that bash at the beach, and you looked like he was coming out as the hero to help out, who was it, Luger and Sting?
Yeah,
Luger,
Savage, and Sting.
Yeah, that's right. And then the fucking turn happens, and the fans in the audience go nuts and just fill the ring with crap. Oh, it was so good. Never been so riveted by a production in my life.
So, okay, question for you guys. So, if you go back and listen to, I want to say it was Pritchard's podcast, during the walkout where Hogan's coming out of the dressing room, is walking down, Heenan is like, well, whose side is he on? Mm-hmm. And then I think Dusty Rhodes is on commentary. He's like, are you kidding me? To me, I think they should have left that part out.
Yeah, that's too much of a foreshadow.
But Pritchard said he thought it made it better.
I agree. I think it made it better.
Why?
Really?
Did they kind of plant that little seed right then and there? Like, yeah, of course Hogan's not coming in to do it. He's coming out here to help. Or do you think that's what that kind of?
See, okay,
because they're saying that shit on purpose to elicit a certain response.
Well, if you say whose side is he on, then you as a viewer are like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah, like I never
you
even
automatically
that.
assumed he was coming out to help the good guys.
And that's my point
that.
too. Like, why confuse a viewer at that point with saying whose side he's on? Like, do I have the time in the next minute and a half to fully consider the ramifications of a heel turn right before it happens? I don't generally.
Bobby Heenan also said, "Oh, Jannetty tried to escape through the window."
That's fair.
You know what I mean? I mean, Jesus, he did shit for levity.
Anything
I like
he says
Bobby
gets a
Heenan.
pass. That's
Yeah.
Bobby the Brain.
So,
love that
so
guy.
my thought at the time was, I'm watching this as best as I can live because it's we didn't order the pay-per-view, so it's like everything's
Scrambled.
Been there.
Fucking A.
But I heard that and I was like, huh, surely not. And then they do it. And then at the time I'm just like, that kind of not gave it away, but I don't know. At the time I didn't like it. But going back and watching it now, I agree that it did make it better.
So yeah, think about this. Like the fans needed that little comment.
Yeah.
Because if he just came out and did that, I mean, maybe it wouldn't have went how they planned. Maybe they would have totally just been like, "Fuck that."
But here's the
Get
thing,
him
though: the
outta
people
here,
in
you know
attendance
what I mean?
can't hear Bobby Heenan. So
Exactly.
Right.
Well, for the home show.
But if you'll notice, Hogan does this subtle, I don't know what you'd call it. So he's walking out. Someone tries to stick a sign in his face, and he basically just does that to it.
So you already know he's the bad guy.
Well,
dissing fans.
It's something. It was a plant. It was a seed. Like you knew that it was.
foreshadow more.
Now,
or
of course,
It was psychological. All these things combined, his comment, the brushing off of the sign, could put your mind in a place where you can accept this heel turn.
right now, again, I could, watching the Scrambled live, I couldn't see that part. But if you go back and watch and he brushes the sign off of him or whatever, it's like. I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you something else I don't think they've talked about. He comes out in red and yellow. He's in a shirt. He's in a yellow shirt. Not one of his. They had spray painted Hulkster on it in red, outlined in black. It wasn't one of his shirts that they sold. It was in a shirt. They were like at the last second, like, oh, fuck, put a shirt on. That's what it looks like to me anyway. Or
Why
maybe he
they
had it the
did
day
that.
before in town.
It's on the network, right? That whole pay-per-view, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, you can go back and watch it. But I'm serious.
Do they give
It is
out
it is
free
a,
trials, like a week free trial?
I can get you credentials right now.
Fuck,
for
I
that.
think you can just sign
The
up for
WWE
free.
Network. Yeah,
It's
I
one-
got you. I got it.
I tell you what, it's one of the ones where here, sign up, and then they start charging your credit card eventually.
Hey, what's the app on that charter? There's a charter app, and it has it's like a
Is this relevant?
yeah. It's a wrestling. It's like a wrestling. So the Spectrum app that you can do for your Roku.
Sure.
There's also another app right there that's like strictly wrestling, not the WWE Network, and I can't remember the name of it. I'll find it.
So
I'll
just
get it
there's a
coming.
wrestling app in Roku? I'll
Yeah.
look for it.
It's very good.
Check it out. Also, check out Yo Radio. Go to yoradio.com. Download the app. It's good stuff. It's got a bunch of stations on it that will soon have some celebrity
I
stations.
was actually
on
listening
there.
to. I've been getting into reggae lately. Like that's maybe why I thought Thunder in Paradise was reggae.
Yeah.
We got a really good station called Reggae One on Yo Radio. It's pretty
Oh.
good. So if you're into that, check it out.
Yeah, check it out.
Is there a Reggae 2?
There
Not
is.
yet.
There will be soon. Yeah, check it out.
There is the Marley family's coming on to do an entire Marley family like reggae station. So that's pretty cool. We just signed with Stephen Marley, and they're bringing the whole Marley family on.
There's also been some rumors about a gal named Ratchford.
I don't know about that one
She
yet.
goes by the name Abigail.
Oh.
Well, there's rumors. We can throw out rumors. Fuck, we're a
Hell
wrestling
yeah.
podcast. You live
Right.
on rumors. Check it out, yoradio.com. Check out the Lineup Media station, too. We'll be on there occasionally. You can check out the other shows. You can check us out on iTunes, The Three Horsemen Show. Type it in. You'll find us. Give us a 5-star rating. I was saying going to give whatever rating you need, but just give us 5 stars. Get it over with. Check us out, Facebook.
What's it to you? I mean,
Facebook.com/Three Horsemen Show. Same with Twitter, Twitter.com/Three Horsemen Show, YouTube.com/Three Horsemen Show, and of course Eric and E.
Why is that still up there?
Why not? You guys are on there. You guys are on this show. All we're doing is cross marketing.
That's
why is it
fair.
still on there?
Yeah.
Well, because I haven't went around to make the new thing yet. This is the only one I had that had 4 upper, so I just been using it.
I just fucking noticed that. Like, wait a minute.
Welcome to 5 weeks ago.
As you listen to Eric and Big E, they are the hosts of the Surreal Talk podcast, best damn show on the network.
I don't know about that.
And as I've said
Birds on a
before,
bat's pretty good, bud.
as I've said before, recently rated a top 5 show in my opinion. And that's what matters right there. Check it out. Check us out on YouTube. You're already there. Some of you. Actually, none of you. Perfect.
But you will be going back and watching it.
That's right.
If you really want to see these beautiful belts that Alex brings in every week, you ought to hit the YouTube channel. He's got one in front of him, a different one every show. So
I'm starting to run out, though.
that's okay. We don't have a lot of people coming back, so you can just cycle them.
It's all right.
Yeah,
Our
that's
our
true.
sponsors.
We were talking earlier, though, to interrupt. I kind of want to pull the old wrestling, the wrestling move where I kind of turn backwards away from Alex and turn around towards him and let him smack me in the head with a belt. Just to kind of see how that goes.
I kind of want to see that too.
Alex is like, forget you guys. These cost hundreds of dollars. I will be hitting no one.
One,
with
no
it.
dents. 2, no blood.
Yeah.
Hey,
But hit me with a working belt.
well. So if I'm going to make this authentic, if you guys remember, the top was dented in.
It's true.
So
Really?
I don't recall
it was curved in. Yep.
I wonder why.
Don't know.
Could have been a tough hit on somebody's head. I don't know. I don't remember that, honestly.
It was supposedly way back when it was.
Flair
Like,
probably dropped it on a
was-
trip to fucking Tijuana
Well,
or something.
Yeah,
Drunk.
it was somewhere in the Caribbean. I think Flair was working a
See?
what's the Mexican promotion?
Bordello. Oh, wait.
Whoa, wait.
All right. Sorry. Go ahead.
No.
WWC.
No.
It's Colognes. World Wrestling Caribbean.
I
or something?
don't know. It doesn't matter. But he was wrestling somebody. He was going for a finish to hit him with the belt, dropped it, landed on the top end, and just.
Probably one of their big stars like Jack Benino or something.
Like real gold, though, right? And the original belts they had, like,
I asked the rumor.
right.
That's the rumor. Anyway, getting back to NWO Hogan. Remember, you guys will remember. You listeners will remember. They started doing the different stuff where they do the black and white promos and things like that. Did you guys care that Hall and Nash, after they switched from doing their, Nash was Nash, Diesel's whatever, but Scott Hall, that guy never left that fucking Razor Ramon behind. He was always saying,
still
Razor
Razor
Ramon.
Exactly.
I liked it.
Hey,
I can remember watching his promos before he ever started. I can remember watching those promos of him like, I'm oozing Razor Ramon, and I just think to myself like, that's a cool motherfucker right there. And I bet he comes into WWE and just beats ass. WWF back then, and just beats ass. Like a little fucking hair thing
Right.
he had going on. Yeah.
So
his best character by far.
So did you notice as a kid, or do you notice now how deliberate those two were in being like, hey, we're the baddest guys, want to try us on, the big Mang, the medium-sized Mang, and Hogan on the other end would be like, you talk about the,
Yeah. What
the
notice?
NWO brother. Just so cartoon bad guy.
Over the
Oh yeah,
top.
they had to sell it, man.
Over
Yeah.
the top.
Do you think around
Is
this
that good
time-
or bad, though?
Around this time, I think, like you were
Fits.
saying earlier, and tell me if you think I'm on the right train of thought with this. You remember the movie Predator and how badass that movie was? And how over the top all the machismo was, the big muscles, and how serious they were about it. But somewhere around 1990-ish or so, that movie became funny rather than cool.
Around 90?
You get my point. Somewhere around that time.
I've never seen it, so I don't know.
Well, I'm just saying that type of movie where it's the over-the-top, super macho, big muscles everywhere.
Top Gun.
No, not Top Gun. 'Cause
No,
Top Gun was
I'm not talking about muscles, but the over the top, the cool. They tried to sell it, and later on down the road,
Well, think
you
about
look at
that
it like cheesy shit.
Think about that scene in Predators. Predator. I know you've never seen it, where Arnold Schwarzenegger and
Carl Weathers
do the fucking mid-air arm wrestle. You know what I mean? When I was younger, that was the coolest. These guys have giant fucking muscles. But
they
again,
were kind of sweaty and glossy and
right
shit.
around 90, 91, 92, and that kind of shit started to become like, oh, okay, these two guys are so cool with their big-ass muscles. And
If it happened nowadays, it'd be called a meme. They'd meme it out.
you get what I'm saying? It's just people stopped thinking that was cool to be the big-ass, brawny superhero type of, real-life superhero. Okay. So whenever Hogan's out there still doing this, it's just kind of like, you know what I mean? I've seen this before.
But people did eat it up.
For a little while.
Yeah, I mean, the promo Bash at the Beach, whenever he turned, like, he could have said anything, done any kind. He could have made it as cartoony as he wanted, but it still would have been, at the time,
But my point is not that. It's how his character, the red and yellow Hogan, was losing traction just because, like you said earlier, America was changing. And the way that we used to look at these macho stars as fucking cool and tough with their big muscles and their greased up bodies, it kind of got to be a joke after a while.
Well, if you notice, he always did the, I'm a bad guy. But then if he got on camera with Dennis Rodman out of the ring, he'd just talk like, yeah, brother, nobody beats the NWO. We're just chilling.
Yeah, but he would sell
But
it.
he
in
did
ring.
not do that in the ring. He still did the fucking super bad guy, gravelly voice.
Yeah.
You can call us the New World Organization, brother.
That's
That
right.
was pretty good.
That sounded more like McMahon.
Well, I think they kind of sound the same. But I just always thought that was odd. And but to counter that, NWO, WCW and Monday Nitro go on an 83-week winning streak with their TV. 83 fucking weeks.
That's pretty good.
insane.
I mean,
That's longer than a year. Quick math.
the amount of almost a year and a half.
Yeah.
It's probably even more than
It
that.
is more than a year.
But anything they spent on Hogan and Hall and Nash was obviously fucking worth it once you get to that simple fact of that many weeks in a row, number one, worth it.
So did you have an NWO shirt?
Personally, I don't think I
Oh,
actually.
Eric's raising his
I
hand.
had one.
I don't think I ever actually owned one though.
I repped red and black though. Actually, I had a red and black and a white and
Yeah,
black.
you had
though, but I had both. Yes, of course I had an NWO. Shirt.
I don't think I ever owned one.
I used to walk around
Too
doing
cool for
the.
that.
Yeah, giving a little flair, little Jarrett.
Oh man, Buff Bagwell.
Oh Jesus!
Gosh.
Eric is
Oh, here we
getting
go.
out of his
Hold on.
chair. I'll give
Hold
you a
on.
play-by-play. Oh, and you can see it on the. There,
That's pretty good.
he is buff and he is the stuff.
That was pretty good. I got to
I
give
used
it
to
to
fucking love Buff Bagwell, man.
And then
the only one.
Rick Steiner broke his neck.
Yeah.
Literally.
Wait, what?
you. Had a nickel for every time Steiner did that.
God damn, my childhood's ruining. Every time I do this
He did
show,
a bulldog off the. He did
How
a,
did you not see
I
that?
don't remember that,
he did a
man.
bulldog off the top, and then his arm overgrazed Bagwell's head. Bagwell's head goes into Steiner's sternum and jerks his head like that. and
Ugh. Do you guys? I know Corey didn't remember. We talked about it one time, maybe 2 years ago on the show. Do you remember Raven and Mortis? I think it was Mortis at the time, not Canyon. Where it was
How can you not?
they were tag teaming against the Vianos 4 and 5, and they fucked up a.
Remember the Vianos? The Vianos.
You don't remember Viano 4 and Viano 5? They were they were Mexican jobbers that worked in
Yeah.
WCW.
Didn't they wear masks?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
There
that.
was
I
a-
know the conquistadors, but I do not know the Vianos.
Yeah, look for the Vianos. But they did a double
Where's 1
power
through
bomb
3?
to where it was a power bomb / neck breaker at the same time, and they hit this move on the guy and instantly broke the dude's neck. Stopped the match instantly. He was kind of like wiggling. They held him down. The ref does the fucking cross thing. I'll
had
never
that a
forget that.
lot.
What's
They
the
had
cross thing? That's like
That's injuries.
shit went wrong.
Yeah,
They had a
fucking
lot
bring
of
out the
that.
docs.
They had a lot of that happen in
Wow.
WCW in the late 90s.
I just never forget. It was one of the first times I saw a major injury where they broke character, stopped the match, and had somebody come out and take a look at somebody.
could probably do a whole show on that just in WCW in the late 90s. They had
Injuries
a,
or-
they had a handful of those.
Didn't get hurt often in a Hogan match.
Yeah,
Not a lot of top
or-
rope working there.
Or Goldberg.
I've seen him come off the top rope one time, and that was to get slammed. I take that back twice.
I'm interested to see that neck breaker though.
Yeah, good luck finding it.
Dude, it
The
was tough.
fucking,
I
Yeah, search
found-
Viano matches.
I found a shitty 5-second clip of it, the worst quality, 240p. You know
Sure,
what I
it
mean?
wasn't a work.
No, it was. It looked real shit, man.
All right. Back to Hogan.
I'm gonna find it.
So he's got a year and a half long, essentially title reign. He lost to Luger one time for a week. I think that was to get people to buy fucking Road
I
Wild
was gonna
since,
say,
since they didn't charge anybody to come into the fucking stadium or whatever
That's
or
the
just on a grounds.
Yeah, that's the only reason I could have seen them giving the title to Luger at the time. Like, there's no other explanation for it.
There is. Well, Luger was over. Hogan got guys. Well, I take that back. The NWO got guys over. Oh boy. Not good.
Fuck, makes my neck hurt.
We'll check it out after.
Well, see, if I would have booked it short version, I would not have had anyone take the belt off of Hogan until Sting of Starrcade.
Sure.
I would not have had Hogan lose at all. He lost to Luger. He lost to Piper twice. Right.
Non-title matches.
Yeah,
though.
right. But just keep it going. Keep it hot. And I felt like Hogan losing those matches, it just kind of lost some steam, and it didn't. It didn't help. Hogan winning the title from Luger not even a week later.
Sure shit didn't hurt him in the ratings.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that, but it just, for me as a fan watching it at the time, I don't know.
I don't know, man. They came out fucking 6 times a night. I don't know that. I don't know how much it hurt, but I can tell you it didn't slow down the NWO as a faction.
No.
And I mean, I looked. Man, Hogan did not wrestle much in 1997. I mean, not much at all.
Let's see.
They
1,
ran
2,
house
3,
shows here and there. 98 about the same. And then I thought I turned my phone off. But that was Brooklyn 9.
20 matches in all of 97. Just counted them.
He lost to Jacques Rougeau in 97.
In 97?
20 matches.
Wow.
Considering the fact that he was doing, 2 years earlier, here's every day for 14 days he wrestled and beat Ric Flair over in Germany in another different place. So
Yeah, tours are one thing.
Did you guys know that? He lost to the Mountie in
always gets his man.
97.
Well, Rougeau promoted the show, and
Yeah.
it was just going away. Here you go, Hogan.
I'm not seeing that on his list here.
But this all leads to the big sting at Starrcade 97. And we're leaving out. You know what? Let's not leave out. Look at what Hogan did bringing in Rodman.
Mm-hmm.
That was a big fucking deal, especially when Rodman was skipping practice during the week of the NBA championship to come in and wrestle or be on Nitro.
Yeah, pretty silly.
Can you guys believe that shit? Could you imagine if that shit happened today
Yeah,
on Twitter?
They'd ream him. It's
Oh
a good
my
thing
God.
there was no Twitter back then.
Be the end of the guy's fucking career.
Dude, I hated it, honestly, all of the worm stuff with Dennis Rodman. I felt like he was so out of place. Horrible wrestler, obviously.
Yeah.
I don't know, the whole thing, they brought him in the Road Wild and, NWO, and he comes out on the motors. I just didn't buy it. I was so over it by that point.
More eyes on the product.
I get it. I mean, I totally get it. You're bringing in possibly millions of NBA fans to check out what Rodman's doing, but
Well,
at the
then
same
you've got-
time, as a wrestling fan, it's like you're patronizing.
Well, you've got Leno on there too, so that throws in
And Karl Malone.
another.
Carl Malone was there?
Yep.
Missed that one. Can't remember that.
Carl Malone and DDP versus Hogan and Rodman.
Oh,
If you-
my
So
God.
If you go to
All you need is Jay Leno.
if you go to the Nitro match where Goldberg's wrestling Hogan, Malone does a diamond cutter on Hennig on the floor, and the crowd loses it. I mean, the crowd pop was just. And granted, I don't know if it was overdubbed or not. I assume it wasn't, but
Nah. Not live. They played that shit out. They were happy that Goldberg was going to win the title.
well, yeah. That anyway. Getting ahead of ourselves.
Do you think it's bad that he brought that influence? I mean, I think in no way. I think if it weren't for Hogan, WCW would have closed shop in,
Yeah, I think
95?
I think they were just trying to do the way I look at it, they were trying to do a second, not rock and wrestling, but whenever they brought celebrities in around Mania 1, and they were trying to recreate that because they realized, hey, this is what got WWF off the ground, so let's try it again and see if it works.
All right, so what do you like more, Raw's Attitude Era, or do you like more WCW early NWO when they are the
that's
fucking
tough,
army?
man. That's
I know.
tough.
I mean, what was more captivating television? Look at the whole card of a Nitro and look at the whole card of a Raw.
They're
If you go
so-
back and watch some of that
so
shit,
different,
it's
though.
bad.
They are. You're very right. They're so different in what is attracting about each individual one. You know what I mean? I don't know, though. They both really had the, in the Attitude Era, it was kind of like against the management. You know what I mean? It was all like, and then the same thing with the NWO, how they were damn the man against that shit. They weren't. They were the outside.
Outsiders.
Yeah. Well, right. Obviously, but you know what I'm saying? Like how it was against like their bosses. Same way with like the McMahon Austin feud. Like it was. That's kind of the same, but everything else was just very totally different.
Well, Eric Bischoff will say that was stolen because he did it first.
Well, then I mean he might have a point, but it doesn't mean it wasn't good television. You know what I mean?
Give you that. You could say Hogan's responsible for WCW taking off. You can also say he's responsible for WWF taking off.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, 100%.
Because if it weren't for him, they wouldn't have stepped up their game.
That's true.
I mean, this guy deserves a lot of credit, and like we said last week, people hate the fucking guy now for obvious reasons. But, he's got his place in history for a reason, does he not?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, totally agree.
Best colorman in the biz.
Oh yeah.
He's talking about us. We're the best colormen in the biz.
So this, and
there was a Hogan quote. Oh,
if nothing, oh boy, I did not see that coming. Also, Hogan's responsible for Sting becoming what Sting became. Is he not?
No, I think Sting was great before Hogan entered into WCW, don't you?
Without Hogan in the NWO, you never had Crow Sting, which is arguably the greatest thing he ever did.
I honestly liked the painted face, fucking high top Steve
I'm not
Borden,
disagreeing with you. I loved that
Stinger
too.
Splash in the corner, followed up by the
But ask me this:
Scorpion's
when was his
Deathlock.
career bigger? When did people care more about Sting than whenever he wasn't talking and showed up for a minute at the end of every show? Nobody cared more about Sting ever than that.
I mean,
in fact,
that's true too. But
that last 10
liked
minutes
it.
of the show waiting for Sting to show up was arguably 100 times more important than the other 2 hours of the show.
Was that before or after? Because he used to drop out of the ceiling with an accord too. Is that before or after the Owen Hart incident? Because you think that
long before.
So that you think that would put like a,
It did.
yeah. Whew, I wouldn't have done that.
Broaden into it.
He stopped dropping from the rafters though after the Starrcade match, I think.
For the most part.
Really?
And that was late '97. Owen Hart's fall. That was '99. So
It wasn't. It was that late, 99.
Yep.
Gosh, for whatever reason, I think I just to myself, 99. I was in high school. It just seems like it was way before that. Like I was a kid when that happened.
You were a kid.
I went to the Raw the night after.
Oh man, where was that at? Because it happened in
St. Louis.
I was gonna say it happened in Kemper, so it probably was St. Louis.
Kansas City. Yeah. Ugh. Anyway,
They have the big thing. Everybody come out with the fucking things on their arms. Isn't that what happened?
awful. It's an awful show.
They did the whole Monday was like a
Tribute.
yeah.
It was bad. It was bad. Did not.
They gave his family the tape of that, didn't they? The only tape to ever exist of the actual him hitting the ring and shit. They gave his family the tape.
Not that I know of.
Pretty sure they
Maybe
did.
in court.
I thought they did.
Maybe in court.
I've heard that too. That,
Right,
Like
that-
the only video footage that existed, WWEF at the time
Gave to his
gave
family.
it to Owen's family.
Yeah.
so they could watch it back. I'm not sure why.
Well,
I don't know why either, but maybe
to destroy it.
Probably that was my only rationale of it, is that hey, this isn't going to get into the wrong hands. It's not going to leak because it's now ours, and we're going to get rid of it.
Well, I guess if you're into snuff films, somebody would want to see that. I wouldn't want to see it.
Hell no, I wouldn't want to see that. I don't know. I mean,
Bad deal. But going back, all this led to this Hogan Sting thing. If you guys, we talked about this when we were doing our Monday Night Wars show, which you can find in our archives. Check it out. I think it was Monday Night Wars heading into this, and then we recapped this in '98. This Hogan Sting match at Starrcade is the worst fucking match I've ever seen.
Really?
It was so disappointing. I mean,
Refresh me.
So
Hogan beats him clean in like 8 minutes.
there isn't anything.
Wow.
There's nothing of substance. I mean, Hogan and Sting go back and forth. The planned finish was supposed to be like Nick
Fast
Patrick was
count.
supposed to fast count, but he just did a normal count. Hogan's got, doesn't really hook the leg. He kind of hooks him by his trunks. It's almost, anyway. Nick Patrick counts a normal 3 count, and then that's it. But then you've got a camera that cuts over to Bret Hart trying to talk into a microphone. It's not picking up everything, and it was just horribly executed. I mean, just awful. And then
So it was like a mid-card match from 1982.
and even the match itself.
Mid-card matches were good in '82. Sorry.
Yeah.
Fair.
Even the match itself. I mean, like Corey said, it was like a 7 to 8 minute match, and it was just
Yeah, everybody shits on the Hogan Warrior match at Halloween Havoc. This match is just as bad. Their timing's off. Sting is completely rusty. I remember watching it that night at our buddy Justin's house, big party. Sting comes out, and he takes a shit off, and he does not look like the Sting I remember, at least at that point. And then they had the match, and it was just a fucking drizzling shit. It just wasn't good.
Sting got a couple of decent drop kicks in, but that was it. Everything else was just, it didn't look like Sting.
And then he went wild after that. Yeah.
So
it was a bad deal. And everybody talks about the death of WCW. I think they killed it right there.
That was the start of it. I agree. I mean, it had this year-plus long build-up to an 8-minute joke.
Squash. I think it was a squash. You watch it, you'll be like, not much to this.
You know what we need to do? This would be a cool feature. Is every week we have matches that we talk about during the show, and we could try to send out like YouTube links or something along with the post. So whenever you're listening to the podcast, you can look in the description. Here's a link to that fucking Hogan and Sting match.
A lot of people are doing that.
We should do that. Just saying.
Some people are doing watch-alongs, like a whole 3 hours.
We talked about doing that before. I think.
No fucking way am I doing that.
I don't got time for that, nor the inclination.
Or the patience to sit through a fucking card from 20 years ago.
Yeah, that's the hard part. Even if you could sit through it, man, I don't know I'd be wanting to listen to it. Maybe a 15, 20-minute, like I watched this last night, here's my notes and the recap from it, that could be worth it. But to sit and watch it with you for 3 hours?
Yeah, I don't think that'd be as fun.
Yeah, I don't think I'd want to watch anybody watch a pay-per-view.
Unless we're busting out Starrcade 85 or something.
I mean, the
now
classics.
we're talking.
But,
now
but
we're
even
talking.
then, do you want to watch somebody else watch that? Like, you can watch it over their shoulder more or less and listen to their commentary? Or would you rather just watch it?
You learn a few things.
I guess depending on the
From us.
commentary. Well, yeah, you guys. Would you like to watch me and Eric watch it? No.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be fun for another reason.
No. But this leads Hogan into 98, and they did some stuff. But how were you guys on WCW coming into 98? We just said, what did you like, the Attitude Raw era? Had you switched over? Were you flipping back and forth? Where were you at on Hogan's?
I was never a single product person. I never was just WWF or just WCW.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I never even thought about just being one or the other. It's back and forth. Whatever the better segment was on, that's what I'm watching.
So I didn't flip back and forth. What I did was I would watch one of them, but then record the other on a VHS tape and then watch it the next
You're
day.
Rich here.
So basically, I'm going to school Tuesday morning just being like,
don't spoil it.
do not say a word. Not seen it yet.
Well, then Nitro started doing replays right after the show.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I remember that.
WWF guys have said they'd go back and watch it just to see what they did.
Yeah.
Just so they knew a few things.
Do you remember whenever they would spoil Raw live on Nitro? That was some shit there.
What?
They only did it a couple times.
What'd they do?
Tell him a story, at least about, say, whenever, who was it, Cactus Jack dropped the belt or
Foley,
Mankind?
yep.
Yeah.
Well, the first 2 times, a couple times, Bischoff did it in like the first 2 or 3 weeks of Nitro being on the air.
Sure.
Then he never did it again until Cactus Jack drops the title at the end of 99. That's the night of Finger Poke of Doom, and there's another Hogan moment for you. Ooh.
So what had happened is, obviously, Bischoff got the results for a pre-recorded Nitro show at the beginning of the same time broadcast. He says, okay, don't bother watching that. Here's what happens tonight. Mick Foley picks up the title or loses the title, whatever it was, and
well, Shivani's the one
match?
yeah, he fucking spoiled the entire other show.
So Bischoff is telling Shivani in his ear, like, this is what I want you to say. So Shivani's like, you know, our version of Mick Foley is gonna win their belt tonight. That'll put butts in the seats, was his comment. So then you had a mass exodus of people switch over to watch it happen.
Oh, backfire.
Yeah.
Yeah. That definitely happened.
Who do you think would be worse
terrible.
to have in your ear, Bischoff or McMahon?
Fucking
Had to be McMahon
McMahon.
by far.
I'll rip both ears off. Fuck those guys.
Michael Cole.
Oh, no, I can't
Jerry
put up with
Lawler.
that shit. No go. But this all the 98 is when Goldberg gets big, and apparently it was Hogan's idea to drop it to him in July. I still find that hard to believe. But you go with the hot hand. At least Hogan knew that. But Hogan was getting ready for a few other things. I want to say he had knee surgery at that time, but maybe not. 98, he definitely had knee surgery, and but I don't know. That might have been at the end of the year because he took some time off after the whole Ultimate Warrior debacle. And but going in Goldberg. This is all Goldberg getting over Hogan, but Hogan putting somebody over that he knew the time, knew the place. You know, everybody gets on certain guys. They go, oh, they wouldn't sell. They wouldn't do this. They wouldn't do that. Hogan was a politicker, but, I mean, sometimes he was pretty good at picking his poison. No?
You don't get to be the number one guy without knowing what battles to pick. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, who else was he going to do that for? And that company. I mean, it was a company of big guys.
Yeah.
Although they do get on people like him for never wrestling, you know, Jericho, Guerrero, Steiner.
Steiner's one thing, but the cruiserweights I can see. Hogan versus cruiserweights, that's stylistically the two
Flair
most
did
different
it.
things.
Flair did it.
Flair's a technical fucking guy, though, compared to Hogan. Hogan is not even a brawler, in my opinion.
Discuss, gentlemen. I mean, tell me.
I don't know. I mean, you had Guerrero. I forgot what pay-per-view it was. Guerrero wrestled Flair. It was like you said, Flair was a worker. You know, he was a better worker than Hogan. But it was still a good match. And so at the time, I get it. People watching wanted the entertainment factor. They weren't so. Well, they obviously didn't care if you had a good match because they still had, you know, ratings after Starrcade.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was.
Well, hit rewind. He would take on Piper, Luger, the Giant. I can't think of much else. Vader. I mean, it was big guys. Well, I mean, why didn't he wrestle Steve Austin? Why didn't he wrestle Cactus Jack? Why didn't he take on anybody else besides certain guys? I mean, people get in their comfort zones. I have no problem with that. Well, but they definitely held a lot of guys back.
Well, yeah, it's the same reason that Hogan didn't wrestle Bret Hart before he left WWF is because he didn't think he was big enough. He didn't think it was believable.
Right. I'm sure for Hogan, I want to find a guy that I can set up a program with where I can wrestle the same match 30 times in a row. You know what I mean? Get the same pop that's easy, safe, and can continue my career as number one guy. Mm-hmm. And make sure, honestly, make me look good. He probably didn't care too much at the time about making any of his opponents look good.
No, but he always did make his opponents look good. I don't care what you say.
Yeah, you're in the ring with Hogan, though. I mean, it's good for your career.
I mean, he sold like he was getting fucking killed.
Right.
That's fair, but
he'd always back it. For bad guys to cower and to get scared, I mean, at least he did it. He could have just been like, yeah, let me just fucking beat this guy down.
Sure.
He didn't do it.
No, that's true.
You gotta give a guy
had
props.
to make a good match, though. I mean, that's what it's all about. You know what I mean? So
you don't always have to make somebody look good, though.
Yeah, but it's not making him look good. He doesn't want them to look good on his time. You know, I wouldn't either. If I was the number one guy, I wouldn't want to have Bret Hart come in, who is a technically solid wrestler, and have him do anything that could really elevate his status at the cost of mine.
Yeah, Hart would just come in, chop him down, and work the knee. I'm getting technical, sorry. But that's
what
what he'd do.
That's what he would do. Yeah, he'd come and do that little side kick to the knee that he always did. And
yeah. What's your guys' favorite Hogan NWO anything?
The beard. Just straight out, I'm gonna say the beard.
Oh, we're not a segment or anything?
Dyed black beard.
Think about that. I mean, that's how he changed his character.
Yeah, that's all he did was grew stubble and dyed it black. I mean,
It's like on Star Trek when they go to the mirror universe, and literally for the evil versions, they had goatees. In the 60s, that's where you're evil. We'll just throw a goatee on it. That's the evil version. The evil Hogan, Hollywood Hogan, just has the dark black beard.
Yeah.
I think him coming out
beautiful.
It's a good look.
His entrance using Hendrix music, that was...
Yeah. Wow. Was great.
No.
Oh, that's NWO. You're right. Standing next to him. That's what it was. Voodoo Child.
That's right.
In the debut of the Hollywood shirt.
Yeah. Dude, when he come out playing the fucking NWO belt, you'd hate it but love it. It was very iconic, man. He did a good job rebuilding that character. You got to give him that.
Oh, absolutely.
And he still does that air guitar thing today. It cracks me up.
I don't know why I'm still doing this.
He just does it with feather boas, baby.
Yeah. Or nothing at all. I mean, he came, whatever Mania he hosted, he came out with just him, but he
just fucking...
He knew how to work the crowd, man. He knew,
Hey, if it
he
worked
was
for Bill
a
and Ted.
very good showsman. That's why he got into movies. I mean, think about it.
Well, here's what doesn't make sense.
Acting.
At this point, he's using Real American again at Mania. What was it, Mania 30? I don't know, but he's still doing the air guitar thing, so it worked.
That's right. It always works.
If it
Thread
ain't
me
broke,
out.
don't fix
Fuck.
it, baby.
What's your favorite NWO Hogan? Anything?
I like the spray painted belt. I like how I guess
my
who did he beat?
God.
Giant, and he spray painted the belt. Was it
Yeah,
Giant?
Yeah.
And he fucking NWO right on the belt,
They
man.
just kept spray
Tag
painting
that
the
shit.
fuck out of that.
You know what I mean?
I'm struggling to
Belongs
come
to
up with
us
anything
now.
specific, but
I was a big fan of his gear. I loved
the
all
black
the black.
tights and, yeah.
Eventually, he did some more shit. He
I like
started
lightning
just-
bolts on him,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
And the boots always look good.
Mm-hmm.
He eventually got some white ones that he did some shit with it. I'm a big gear guy. I'd love to do a
Yeah.
wrestling gear show.
You got any gear in your collection?
No?
You got no briefs?
No.
I
Another set of
I
tights?
do remember his gear from, and he probably had it elsewhere, but whenever he wrestled Flair at Uncensored, that First Blood cage match where he had like the black tights, but then the white boots, it just
I love that look.
it was good. It was good.
He always looked clean. Everything always looked new. He was just always dressed well. My eyes. At least how you look in a ring. I'm a big thing about players, how they wear their uniforms too. So
Can you imagine this if Hogan was not balding?
Do you remember after that
no, I can't.
that Three Ninjas movie where he came in with the fucking wig?
No.
How long have you been waiting to say
Oh
that
my
today?
God.
I like to bring that up as often as possible.
I actually think we brought it up like
You know what I
fucking
mean?
4 weeks in a row.
Oh yeah, we did bring up the extensions, but can you imagine what kind of hair, what kind of
Oh,
character
no,
would
but
it
we
be if
talk
he
about
wasn't balding?
the flat top where he wore the bandana and then you could see his flat top above it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that good?
He's got my mustache right there.
He does have your
He
stash.
cut it off. He cut it off right here.
Just trimmed it down a little. Kind of reminds me of my dad, to be honest with you.
And we're getting later. Yeah, without the
Mustacheless.
stash, it's
Yeah.
fucking crazy. I think he'd do himself a favor if he cut it off.
Looks horrible.
No,
that way, dude.
that thing needs he needs to just get permanent mustache and implant, so he doesn't have to shave or anything anymore. It's just there till he dies.
A permanent mustache implant.
Yeah.
These pictures just keep getting better and better.
That's the one I'm
That's it.
talking
That's
about.
it. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, he
Look at
put
that
a
spiky
scalp
hair,
on.
man.
Oh my God, that's terrible.
Oh, it was
That
terrible.
is terrible.
They ripped it off like 5 minutes.
Oh,
into
that
the
was
match.
so great when they pulled it off.
That's terrible.
Act like somebody had shot him in the head when they did it too. That's what he was good at.
Yeah,
He was good at that shit.
Right.
We talked about this latter part of '98 is when we get into Karl Malone and Jay Leno, and then Ultimate Warrior comes back. And I know you guys are Ultimate Warrior fans. I am not.
Not a huge one, but
But that's a big stinker he had. But he did get on the front page of USA Today, putting Jay Leno in an arm lock. You know,
Yeah.
they did. It didn't. I don't think it hurt him. It did to a point, but they were still pulling ratings in 4s. I don't know if they got a 5 at any time.
it's hard to say if it hurt him or not. It didn't hurt him in the short term because they were still pulling ratings and whatnot. But what if it kind of went to the downfall of the brand, in my opinion? You know, you're becoming the sideshow act, and you can't come back from that. You did that, so
Well, the big downfall starts with the finger poke of doom, trying to put the belt back.
yeah, that's
on
so
him.
bad. You could that was lazy. I mean, it's like maybe nobody's watching this week.
That was 99 though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's where we're at.
Yeah. Well, just the
Unless
thing.
we're missing something.
No, just
feel free.
No, just the thing I was going to bring up about the Warrior Hogan match. Like, it was so bad that I think it's like one of only 3 or 4 in the history of pro wrestling that Meltzer gave a -5 stars.
Wow.
Uh-oh.
Meltzer's a cock. Just saying.
No, I agree. That match definitely deserved it. But I didn't like Warrior either.
No.
I mean, talk about never mind.
Keep rolling along.
Forgive me. But this gets into NWO red and white and all that shit.
They had the Latin American version, the Japanese version.
Yeah, it just got
What else was there?
so ugly. It got bad.
I'd like to know in that period of the NWO period of WCW, which wrestlers on contract were not ever NWO.
Could have swore we'd looked that up at one time.
Did we? Because that's some interesting info. It
We
could have
would
been
have
many.
been at the 28.
Can any of you name one person who didn't ever go NWO in WCW during that time?
Piper,
Diamond
good
Dallas
DDP.
Page.
Yeah.
It's the first guy I always think of.
Are we including? This is just NWO.
Chris Jericho.
Jericho never went? Yeah, I
Nope.
guess he
No.
did.
No.
Jericho, Guerrero, Mysterio.
No, Guerrero did. Come on, he was in the Latin American version.
That's what I just asked. Are we including that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Totally. Any version of NWO.
If you wear the black and red
Wrath
or
and
black
Mortis.
white.
Second Mortis reference today.
Yeah,
Das
you gotta love him.
Wunderkid.
I was so sad when he killed
Alex
himself.
Wright.
Alex Wright was never in the
That's true.
in the
Yeah,
NWO.
but I think he was gone by then. And he was Berlin by that time anyway.
Oh, it matters.
Chalk it
These
up.
things
It
matter.
matters. You're right.
Das
That's what we're here
Wunderkid?
for.
That's right. We're here to set the record straight.
Was he actually German?
No.
Alex Wright?
I don't know.
I got to find that out.
It.
I think he is. I'm pretty sure he is.
Really?
In fact, yeah, he's a trainer now. He has a wrestling school, I believe. You guys can look that up while we look it up.
So we got a couple more.
He is German.
So pretty much anybody of Raven's flock.
Yeah, Van Hammer never got in.
Oh. Van Hammer was great. He had
Malenko.
when he did the suplex off the top rope?
Yeah, Dean Malenko,
Any of the
Chris Benoit.
Any of the horsemen, yeah.
Kidman, Benoit, Arn Anderson, Ric Flair, never NWO. Anything else you want to know, E?
Mongo.
I'm working on it. Was Hugh Morris and his group, did they ever go? I think Hugh Morris eventually did.
Morris.
General Erection or whatever it was, General Erection.
Kamala was never in the NWO.
Or was he around during that time?
I don't know. I'm just naming wrestlers now.
George the Animal Steel, never NWO.
No, Dusty Rhodes was.
Dusty Rhodes was.
What about Dustin? He wasn't in the company. at the
Never.
time.
He was
He
7.
was gold Dustin.
He was 7. 7.
Was that the one where he came out?
The work shoot promo
Yeah,
where
he
he's
just-
like his white face and
he was only in WCW for what, 1 day with that gimmick? And just like he came out, did that promo, and that was the end of it, right?
Dude, you know, I think I know what you're talking about. I don't
So
think
he
it,
comes
I think
out-
it lasted one segment.
He comes out his first time out, does this fucking horrible powder faced, just completely white in the long leather black trench coat with the Undertaker fucking cowboy hat, and just buries the gimmick. Like, they want me to come out here and do this. You got me dressed up like some kind of goddamn albino. This is bullshit. It just basically buries the whole angle, and that's it.
it was still a work because
It was a whole. I thought it was
they had to change they had to
Fooled
get
me.
rid of the gimmick because of like outside stuff going on. Like there was something in the news at the time about some kid getting
Albinos?
abducted. Yeah.
I mean, at that point, I would just said, "Fuck it, don't even pull the.
Well, no.
Don't go out there and say anything."
Well, no. So the problem was in the build up to that, like the why can't I think of the word? Like the promos or whatever had him
The vignettes or
yeah,
whatever.
that's it. Had him outside a kid's window, like
Yeah, that's
dark
kinda creepy.
outside, but at the same time, it's like you had this mainstream news story about some kid
Some
getting
abduction or
abducted.
something.
Can't
so-
figure out why this company went out of business. Still boggles the mind. I know.
Sid Vicious, he was never
It definitely
NWO.
wasn't
Sid
because of the
Vicious.
Buff Bagwell
Oh,
walk.
yeah.
though.
He couldn't stay in a
That's
company
not
long
at
enough.
all why they went.
Sid Vicious never joined NWO.
had,
He
like,
only
the best
stabs
smile.
people.
He couldn't stay in the company long enough, though. What was his longest runs at the time? A year?
Who?
Sid Udy?
Oh, fuck, he was playing softball.
I don't know.
He was always
What
playing
was
softball.
it, last week or the week before? We watched his gnarly leg break,
Oh,
and
the
I
leg
almost
break
got
off the top
sick.
rope.
Jesus, that was bad.
It is bad.
You get a red and yellow Hogan in '99. You get jack shit with Vince Russo. That's where we'll pick up next week with T.O. when we bring him back.
Right on.
Right now, gentlemen, I want to play a game. And we all know that every game has to have a winner and a loser.
I'll be the loser.
And that's why we are going to play Name That Tune
Oh, that's my favorite game.
Is it Harlem Heat?
with Alex,
Do we have buzzers?
Big E, and Eric. Now, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to give you guys each 3 songs. You guys got to name the...
This is the best thing that's ever happened.
You guys got to name...
Harlem Heat.
Yeah, motherfucker.
Okay.
Just let's get to the goddamn things. I tried to tell everybody at the beginning, and I forgot to tell everybody to stick around till the end.
Is it Doink?
It's got to be Harlem Heat. You're wrong.
Here we go. Fuck. This is going to be... Okay, you're going to get 5 seconds of the song. You have
Who
to
goes first?
name that tune. Alex is going to lead us off.
It's
You know
not
these
Harlem
themes?
Heat.
Alex is going to lead us off.
all right.
These are wrestling theme songs. First,
Do we have a chance to steal in order?
you don't have a chance to steal shit, motherfucker. Actually,
Damn.
yeah, you can steal it.
All right.
Harlem Heat.
After he has his chance to answer.
God damn it.
I'm gonna
Alex,
choke you.
you are up first. Well, we'll give you the time period. Let's go late 80s, early 90s WWE. Ready?
Yep.
Alex is up.
Rockers.
Damn, that was fast.
Alex is
Are you
one-
sure it wasn't Harlem Heat?
Alex is one. Jesus.
I'm kind of with you. That wasn't Harlem Heat.
No, because Harlem Heat.
No, I know we are good.
Dun, 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 dun.
Big E is up next.
All right, I'm ready.
You got 5 seconds.
Here we go.
5 seconds.
There's one.
give me that one?
Who you got?
British Bulldog.
British Bulldog is correct. Very
Jesus, I knew that one, and I'm terrible at this.
good. Very good.
Harlem Heat.
Moving on.
Can you please just play Harlem Heat?
Look, dude, just give me a fucking second here. All right.
All right, what do we got?
Eric,
Present.
go.
That's an easy one.
It's Ric Flair.
No.
No, it's play. All right, play it again.
No.
You got 5 seconds.
All right,
Here's
give
what you get the
give
rest
my
of
other
it.
3.5. Play it again.
Play it again.
It's not like any fucking words come.
Alex the Steal.
Can I steal?
Yeah, I'd say so at this point. He said 2 or 3 5 seconds.
Get it, Alex.
It's Mr. Perfect.
It is Mr.
it.
Perfect.
Exactly.
Spits his gum out, smacks it. I fucking
Throws
like
the
him,
towel
too.
behind him.
Yeah.
Throws the
Forgot about
basketball.
This isn't fair. Alex gets to follow Eric, who's going to be dropping points, and I follow Alex, who's never dropping points. So,
We'll find out.
all right.
Alex, you are back.
Why don't we start round 2?
What's the time frame on this one?
This is 90s WCW.
It's a good tune.
You're getting way longer than 5 seconds.
It's gonna be the same thing over and over. You can just turn it off.
Yeah, I got this one.
Do you?
Harlem Heat.
That's close.
Whoa, you got it. You're not even going to give a guess?
Stevie Ray.
I'm thinking early '90s WCW.
He's almost.
Now I
got
need
it.
the Jeopardy.
Booker T by itself.
Oh yeah, it was singles Booker.
Maybe Stevie Ray. One of the two.
It's not Johnny B. Bad, is it?
Incorrect. Anybody have a guess?
I have no clue.
No.
That is the Steiner Brothers. Just no lyrics.
Oh, well, that's why.
Here's the story of two brothers, Rick and Scott.
I know, yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Okay, that's why I didn't. Yep.
Big E.
I'm ready.
90s WCW.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that's not fair.
Why not?
There's lyrics.
I can hear it with Alex. No, I don't know. I honestly, if I'm gonna know it, I'll have it in the first second, and I don't have it.
Steal.
Play it again.
The American Man. Is this when Buff went
Nope. I know what you're
Sting? I don't know.
Sting.
No, it's Hogan.
Alex with another steal.
God damn you.
I thought you were gonna say, is that American Males?
That's what I was thinking, like American Males, huh? This is
Now,
Buff.
who would have thought that this would be Eric's next one?
Oh, good lord.
No talking.
Oh man, this is a tough one. I don't think he's gonna get it.
That's fucking Harlem Heat, baby. I know that one. Fucking love Harlem Heat. But can we play that again, though?
Oh,
Just like,
Jesus.
I
so
think we've had
catchy.
enough.
Now, can you name the fucking Harlem Heat? Do you know
Yeah.
their names?
Booker T and Stevie Ray.
What were the names before?
He used to do that. He used to do that fucking breakdance move. Remember? when
Spin-a-rooney.
Yeah, that Booker T move was cool.
I don't know their names before.
The Spin-a-rooney. Never heard it. Now, Alex, now. So now that we've gone, what we go, late 80s, early 90s, WWF, and now we are
Colin
going
Kane.
to, now we are going to the Attitude Era.
Uh-oh.
Alex, you're up. Name that tune.
Val Venus. Hello, ladies.
Very good. Very good. Very, very
Fucking
good.
love Val. I don't care. He was Rick Rude Jr. and he did it just as good.
I think that might just need to be our theme from now on.
Throw a little glass break at the beginning and then go into that. I'm with it.
It had to be that. That's great. All right. Big E.
That would be fun to do, just like theme mashups and just see what you could come up with.
Big E, here's your Attitude Era theme.
Attitude Era. Is this the Oddities? I'm fucking it up, aren't I?
Is that your final answer?
It's not the oddities because that was. I don't know who it is.
Okay.
Steel.
I got nothing.
The Brood / Gangrel.
That's what it was. The goddamn Brood. Horrible. Gangrel was horrible.
Wow.
The Brood.
Wow. He had Edge and Christian. I mean, they had that going on for him. Who else
They
did they have in
had-
the Brood?
Oh, that was it.
Is that it? Just those three?
Those three.
Edge, Christian, Gangrel.
Yep.
Wasn't Luna Vachon ever involved with that? Like, for some reason, I want to say Luna was involved with Gangrel at one point.
Oh, yeah.
Was
Well, they were married.
Oh, they were married? I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
She dead, though.
Is she? That's a bummer.
She died. It is sad. Eric,
Let's hear it.
here's your third just fucking easy. Couldn't even get Mr. Perfect.
I know.
You got Harlem Heat, though. Ah, god damn it.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
Nothing? Can I steal?
Wait a minute. He hasn't even gotten...
How could you not know this?
I get it from that. Now you're just cheating to give me
cheating.
points. That's
Yeah.
gold dust.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't know that.
Good thing
though.
you didn't need any help there. Alex wins with 5.
Right. He got every one.
Alex
in
had
the few
12 out of
ours.
9.
Big E got 1.
All right.
And you got the 2 gimmies, even
I
though I
got
gave you
Harlem
3. For fuck's sake.
I'm gonna bitch about this and say your contest was malformed. The second round should have started with me. Third round
Malformed.
should have started with him. That way our skips could have been a little bit better, or maybe even go the opposite direction.
Corey, I got one for you.
Like any theme, like any game show, this can always be fixed.
Oh yeah. I just want to bitch because I lost.
This
It wasn't my
we can-
fault. It was yours.
All you gotta do is plug this little plug. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how podcasts work. You just do whatever the fuck you want. And that's what we do.
Oh no.
Because we have fun.
You're giving Eric direct access?
Well, I hope he realizes how loud this may be if he doesn't turn his sound down.
Oh, okay. That's a good
As you
pre-warning.
kill our iTunes listeners.
The next
That's my
part's
boy.
the best though when it gets dark.
If this is that version, one or two of them.
Oh, I bet this isn't that version. You know how it gets like real dark?
This is actually the theme song they played for me when I walked out of wrestling because I didn't want to watch anymore because of shit like that. Perfect timing. I was
Right.
like, fuck
Good
this.
stuff.
Matt Bourne should not be doing this. Okay, we're gonna finish up. We're gonna finish up with Hogan Part 3 next week as you hear Goldust playing in the background.
I still love that character. I don't
We're
care.
gonna finish up Hogan's last run. We're gonna finish up Hogan's last run here in the WWF, and then when shit got really interesting, Hogan Knows Best. Some racial slur using, some sex tapes, some Gawker lawsuits.
I hate to extend this.
No, you don't.
I do a little because I got to go pick my wife like 3 minutes ago. But I love the Goldust character, and it's 20 years of work that he did on that character. But can you imagine what would have came of Dustin Runnels had he not had that character? Like what he could have accomplished maybe in some other fashion? Because the kid could work.
He probably could have been another Barry Windham.
Oh, that's not nice.
You know, a lot of people see Wyndham as a mid-card performer. This is gonna drag out way too long. Anyway,
You're right. Sorry.
But you just said we can do whatever we want. So
That's true, but we do have to go eventually.
Eh.
So people have to leave the studio.
Let's put a pencil in this and come back to it or something.
Well,
Whatever
yeah,
that-
T.O. will be back next week. We'll then it gets fun.
Yeah, it wasn't fun this time. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying you trying to not know Hogan's WCW theme.
Yeah,
I
that's
can't
pretty
fucking
bad.
believe that.
That's pretty bad.
American Made.
I'm gonna go hit myself.
I think that's all the lyrics. American, American.
It's pretty bad though. I probably just blocked that out on purpose. It's pretty bad.
I can't believe you didn't get the Steiner Brothers, Alex.
I
Of
would
all
have
things,
I would have got it with the
just because it didn't have lyrics.
Well, I would have got the. I would
says
have.
Rick and
I would have
Scott,
recognized the guy's vocals. I don't know who sung it, but like if you would have threw in just any line that didn't reference the Steiners, I would have got it.
See, it was like E used to do Name This Wrestler with me. And I think he finally got me with somebody in a headlock and you couldn't make out like their
Yeah,
face. I was
that worked
supposed to
out
make
well.
out their forehead. He gave me
worked.
Austin Idol one week. He gave me the unpredictable Johnny Rods. And then who was the other guy?
Fuck, I don't know. I don't
Hong
remember.
Chi or something?
Yeah, I got real
you
desperate.
fucking know who it was.
I got real desperate at the end and just found like the,
Ron Bass.
the loosest version of a professional wrestler you can find. This guy.
Oh, this guy worked San Francisco in 65. Come on.
What's your problem, man? I thought you were the wrestling snob. I thought you knew this shit.
It's true. I should have known it. I'll give you that. All right. We'll be back next week. We're going to finish up the Hogan Super Show next week with part 3 for Alex, for Big E, For Eric, for T.O. who's not here, and for me, Corey. We'll be out of here next, or we're out. We are out of here. We'll see you next week.
Okay, bye.
And for Stevie Ray and Booker T too.
Fucking Stevie Ray.